for an excellent introduction. I sincerely thank all participants for giving me your evening on this Sunday. I sincerely hope that you will benefit from this program and take back something very valuable. The program is entitled Creativity and Innovation. This is an introductory webinar to my masterclass on creativity and innovation, which is all about practical use cases and applications to deliver breakthrough results. We are in the grip of a severe pandemic. A pandemic which has struck us over 100 years back. In 1918, we had a pandemic which was called the Spanish influenza, which affected over 500 million people and killed over 50 million, 27 million of them from India alone. But things have changed. Healthcare has changed, discipline has changed, technology is there to help us. In spite of all that, the COVID pandemic has taken us in its grip. And the way forward is going to be very different. What we are habituated to is not what awaits us in our way forward. So creativity and innovation becomes a very important thing. As I was wondering where to begin this introductory webinar on creativity and innovation, it struck me that the best place to begin would be the beginning. The beginning in most cases is where we are, but in this case, the ending is going to be where we are because the way forward is going to be very different. And that is where we are going to be needing creativity, innovation, and design thinking. So let's see where the journey began, which has brought us to where we are today. The journey began over 4.6 billion years ago with the birth of our planet Earth. Around 3 billion years ago, life appeared on this planet. And it was 360 million years ago that life came from water to land. And it was only 5 to 8 million years ago that man, as is understood, appeared, and the Homo sapien appeared a very brief moment back, just 200,000 years ago. And here we are, friends, talking about creativity and innovation introduction. Let us see the beginning of creativity. Here you see two people. Let's call them for convenience sake Caveman 1 and Caveman 2. You can see both of them are extremely scared. They are puzzled for the simple reason that they are very, very, very recently escaped from the jaws of death. They were climbing a hillside when there was a very serious avalanche, and they, many of them perished, many of the tribespeople perished, but these two people somehow escaped and came away. And here they are standing, scratching their head, wondering what happened, how they escaped. Caveman 2 exhorts Caveman 1 that we should move away from here as early as possible, because otherwise we don't know what will happen, because this was the first time they had faced an avalanche. It was new to them. In fact, everything was new to them. That was the times when everything is new. But Caveman 1 is seriously lost in thought. Thought of what? He saw during the avalanche that stones, rocks, and trees were tumbling down the hillside at a tremendous speed. And what he saw was that items with a round configuration were moving faster down the hill than those which are jagged. The birth of the creative mindset had happened. The absorbed mindset. This was an exhibition of the absorbed mindset. The Caveman number 1 had absorbed the idea that round things move faster than jagged items. But somehow, Caveman number 2 persuades Caveman number 1 to move away, and Caveman number 1 and 2 start moving away. As they are moving towards their camp, where the other tribes people were there, in a distance, Caveman number 1 sees a few people standing by the cliff. Looking at them, he is terror-struck. Because these were the people with whom he had come out that day in the morning, and they had seen a bird flying, and there was discussion as to if birds can fly, why can't we? In their own cave language, they had exchanged the ideas that if birds can fly, why can't we? And when he sees two of them standing by the cliff, waving their hand, it suddenly struck him, maybe that they would try to fly. Then he remembers that that day in the morning, he was carrying a pumpkin. The pumpkin has slipped out of his hand, fallen down the cliff, and been shattered to a million pieces. And he had realized that the head also is of a round shape. He sees in his eyes a picture of these two people jumping off the cliff, trying to flap their hands like wings. It doesn't work. They crash onto the ground and their head splits. Man had shown the second aspect of the creative mindset, the envision mindset. He rushes to them. He stops them. He says, no, no, don't do this. He tries to explain to them what is there in his mind, but he's unable to do it properly. Somehow he persuades them. He takes them away from there, saves them, and they all, these four, along with the other two, cavemen 1 and 2, start moving towards the camp. As they are moving, suddenly there is heavy rain. The heavy rain ensures that these people go and take shelter under a tree. And some distance away, under another big tree, there are lots of animals and birds have taken shelter. As they are taking shelter, the rain, catches up speed, violence, and there is a heavy downpour. Suddenly, there is a huge crack of thunder and lightning. Lightning comes and strikes the tree under which the animals were there, and the tree bursts into a flame. For the first time, the man sees fire. He's shocked and surprised. What is this? I've seen nothing like this before. They are looking there. They feel the warmth. They feel the light. And what do they see? They see that the animals and the birds are getting roasted. They thank whatever those cavemen thanked at that time for not being under the tree. They stand there itself. Slowly the rain stops. The fire is slowly reduced. And then they find a smell in the air. Now these people used to hunt those animals and eat. They go near those roasted animals and see them and then think, is it edible? They eat. And they find it is extremely tasty. Caveman 1 immediately connects that fire can roast what they normally eat raw and make it more edible. The third of the creative mindset example had come out. It was now out in the open, the connect mindset. Now all the 6 of them have good food. They eat those roasted animals and birds and find that there is a lot more of it there. Caveman 1 tells everyone, so come, let's take these roasted animals and go back to the camp and we will have a big feast. And it will be so nice that we can celebrate. We will show the people what this thing can do to animals. They take some of the fire from there. They take the roasted meat and start moving towards the camp. As they are going, they realize that the entire area, is filled with the aroma of that roasted meat. As they go, they are attacked by animals. Those animals of which cavemen are scared because they know these animals are very dangerous. The animal comes, attacks them. 3 of them lose their life. Those other three escape. Our caveman number 1 is extremely sad. Why did this happen? We are normally very careful. And this is not the time when these animals come out. Why did these animals come out today? At this time, and why did we have to get caught? He's feeling extremely sad. He's trying to think. The reason mindset has been exposed. These are the 4th of the creative mindset. The mindset had come to show itself in the open to mankind. And as he was thinking, he felt, no, I cannot bear this agony anymore. I will have to somehow ensure that I tell the people, all the people, that at that time, he realizes that it definitely has something to do with the roasted food that they are carrying, because those animals attack them and also eat those food. So he says, I have to somehow convey this to the people. He paints it. When caveman number 2 asks, what are you doing? He says, I am preserving my misery for posterity. And as he paints, he realizes there is a catharsis. His sadness is getting transformed into happiness. He gets into the flow mindset. The sadness goes away to be replaced by a celebration. My dear friends, the time had come for the final of the creative mindset to come out. As he was in a flow, he starts linking all the things. He realizes that the fire which had struck, the lightning which had struck had caused the fire. The fire had burned the meat. The meat is very good to eat. He had taken the meat, and as they were walking, the animals attacked them. He suddenly connects all these things and realizes that if I can ensure that I can move faster than how I am moving now, maybe these animals will not be able to hurt me. At the same time, I will be able to also safeguard the food. As he's thinking, he connects all these things and comes up with this. He had seen the things moving very fast down the hill. He chisels a rock and creates this, starts evaluating it, and then remembers that a jagged material does not move that fast. The final of the creative mindset, evaluation, had come. He had absorbed by looking at the surrounding. The round objects move fast. He envisioned what will happen if the person had tried to jump off and fly. He had connected the fire with the roasted food. He could reason out that the roasted food was the reason for the animals to come and attack them. He could understand that the death of these people was what had made him feel sad. And he realized that he can transform that sadness into flow by expression. And finally, he realized that by evaluating that a square object cannot move fast, he had created the wheel. My dear friends, the first of the mechanical devices, the first invention of man, had happened this day, 3500 BCE. Now the question is, why is it that all these things only caveman number 1 is thinking? What about the other cavemen? Are they not capable of all these creative thoughts? No, I don't know about that, for the simple reason there is no record of whether all the other cavemen are as creative as caveman number 1. But one thing I know, that the situation in the current date is very, very lopsided. Let's see, how lopsided is creativity and application of intelligence and innovation in the current date. Record says that only 0.6% of the world population, that is 42 million people, have 39.3% of the world's wealth. That means only 42 million people, 0.6%, have been able to leverage their creativity and intelligence to corner so much of money. And another 4.4%, that is 311 million people, have 32.3% of the world wealth. That means put together, 5% have nearly, 95% of 5% of the wealth is with 5%, and 95% are living from hand to mouth. Sad, isn't it? 95% of the people are living from hand to mouth, whereas 5% have 71% of the wealth. But this is not what God wanted. God created everyone equal. Then where did things go wrong? That means only 5% of the people at current times are creative and capable of applying their intelligence for their benefit. 95% are finding it very difficult. Where did they lose their creativity? Because even in the prehistoric age, during the caveman age, paintings show that children were always creative. We all know that there is not a single parent even today who does not claim that their child is a genius. And every child expresses itself in such a beautiful, wonderful, creative way. It is able to make all us elders dance to its tune because of its creative ability. Then what happens? If you look at the caveman time, even then, as they grew up, they became worried, puzzled. They were filled with anxiety. Responsibility sat strongly on their shoulders as it does now. The children are happy, adults are unhappy and worried. Even during the caveman days, here you can see caveman number 1 drawing, caveman number 2 telling him, first you invented the wheel and now you have gone on to invent the graphic novel. Will you leave anything for others? Caveman 1 thinks, oh, there are so many things to be invented yet. The bridges, the musical instruments, rocket space travel, beautiful paintings like Mona Lisa. He thinks, yes, all these things have already been invented. Then what? So is it that everything is over? There is nothing for us to do? Is it that only these 5% who have been able to earn money, they will continue the way they are and we will continue to live from hand to mouth? No, my dear friends. The world is not really all that dark and dreary. If you look very carefully, you will realize that the tip of the iceberg is what the consumption economy is all about. And what is the consumption economy? The economy that we see all around us. It's only a tip of the iceberg. And what is underneath the real iceberg is the non-consumption economy, which is not visible to the eye. And the consumption economy is serviced only by 2 types of innovations, the sustaining and efficiency innovation. And the real treasure, the treasure trove is in the non-consumption economy where the market creating innovation is there. And the beauty of it is the non-consumption economy drives the consumption economy. As the consumption economy, grows, non-consumption economy goes more. And when the non-consumption economy, because of market creating innovation grows, you create products which are not existing, the consumption economy grows, and the ratio always remains the same. That is the beauty of it. Okay, enough of theory. Let us see practically how it is applicable. Friends, just unmute one of you and tell me, which is the world's largest consumption economy country? Which country is the largest consumer in the world? Will anyone answer me?
USA.
US.
USA. There seems to be unanimity that please mute or
India ji.
Now China is overtaking, but before that it was
China. I like it. I like this competitive spirit. One person says India, one more says China, but madam, the truth is USA is still the largest consuming economy in the world. But it was not always so. In the beginning, in the ending of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century, that is somewhere during the period of 1890 and 1901, 2, 3, 4, 5, America was as poor as any other country. It was just a developing nation at that time. Then what happened, which within 100 years turned it into the largest consumer in the world, a country which is the favorite destination of every other country? What happened? Let us see. Anybody recognize this man? Please.
Henry Ford.
Correct, Samayak. Henry Ford. He is one of the few people who is responsible for turning America into what it is today. The story goes back to 1903-4. Henry Ford was going from bank to bank, trying to get a loan to upscale and expand his automobile business. But none of the banks were willing to give him any money because they said, you don't have the backing, financial backing, because of which we can give you money, and you are not fit for the automobile industry. It was during this time, somewhere around 1906, that Henry Ford happened to go to a factory which was in the meat business. There he saw meat being transported from one place to another on a conveyor belt. And the question came in his mind, why should my employees go where the components are? Why can't the components come to them? Then how much more efficiently they can manufacture? And the conveyor belt was introduced into automobile industry, and that created history. It created history to such an extent that Ford Motor became the world's largest manufacturer of automobiles and kick-started the economy of the nation in such a big way that today it is one of the principal forces which has made America into the giant it is. What happened? It enabled all these industries because of automobile becoming cheap. Because of that conveyor belt, a car which used to cost nearly $750 came down to $300. And he brought in a lot of other innovations, like reducing the working hours from 9 to 8 hours, doubling the wages from $2.5 to $5, and various other things he did, due to which, Ford, there was an explosion. And this explosion of motor cars in USA enabled roads, schools, hotels, suburbs, restaurants, construction, tourism, oil refining, you name it. It influenced that industry. It enabled that industry to grow. He had leveraged all these materials which required for building a car: steel, glass, rubber, paint, cotton. All these industries started booming. And he had created jobs in every aspect, in every corner of the country, for management, finance, distribution, sales, advertising, making USA what it is today. What was the turning point? In 1909, there are only 20,000 cars made. In 1922, 2 million cars were manufactured in the USA. This is the effect of a sustaining and efficiency innovation. Automobiles were there. Even at that time, Ford had 8 other automobile companies competing with him. But this sustaining and efficiency innovation which he brought in had ensured that America got a boom, and it kept on growing to become the richest country in the world, the largest consumer in the world. At that time, something else was happening somewhere else. While this was happening in Michigan, Detroit, something else was happening in New York, which was going to shake the world like nobody's business. It was going to totally redefine the way industries are run, the way people live, and what quality of life meant. It was going to shake the very foundation of that. The birth of that started with this person. Anybody willing to tell me who he is?
Andrew Carnegie?
No. Take a chance. One more.
Dale Carnegie?
No.
The
Think
owner
what
of
is-
IBM, I don't get his name. Owner of IBM?
No.
It is Edison, I think. Thomas Alva Edison.
No. I can tell you one thing. Every one of our life will become miserable but for this man. Miserable means miserable. He totally changed the way the world lives.
Microsoft.
Electricity.
Bell, Mr. Bell.
Electricity. Edison.
Bell.
Microsoft.
No.
No, telephone invent.
Graham
No.
Bell.
No.
Tesla.
I'm enjoying myself. Yes, tell me.
The father of computers. I forgot his name.
He is the father of comfort. Today, if we are all sleeping comfortably, happy, if officers are comfortable, if hotels are comfortable, if a journey is, it's all because of this man.
Pittsburgh.
Eh?
Volvo company.
Okay, let me break the suspense. I will tell you the name, but I will not tell you anything else. He is Willis Haviland. Okay, what did Willis Haviland do? We changed our life. Willis Haviland, having completed his engineering graduation from Cornell University in 1901, joined Buffalo Forges, a company in New York. He was in the R&D department. He was doing research there. Near that office was one of their customers by the name Sackett and Williams. They were lithographers and printers. They had purchased a state-of-the-art machinery for printing. They were the #1 printers in New York. They had bought a state-of-the-art machinery for printing. And this machinery was playing truant. It was not printing properly. There were smudges. Wastage was very high. Profitability was going down the drain. And weeks and months they tried to solve the problem. They could not. Even the manufacturers came and saw, they found absolutely no problem with the printing machine. What was wrong? Why were problems there? They appealed to Buffalo Forges. Buffalo Forges sent their 25-year-old Willis Haviland to check up what was happening. Now, Willis Haviland was a breed apart. It is only now we talk about design thinking, but he was a design thinker by nature. He went, he first checked the machine. He found everything was okay with the machine. Then he started working on the workers. He found the technicians and the people who were operating the machines were up to date. There was no problem. Then he started looking into the material which was being used for the printing. The material was top class. Then he started looking at the surroundings. Everything was okay. He was worried. What could be wrong? He started touring the premises of the factory. He started spending more and more time in the factory. On the third day, he realized that the problem was in the change in temperature in the factory. In the morning, the temperature was different. In the afternoon, it was different. And as night falls, it used to become very cold and it was different. And he found that the variations were happening because of the change in temperature. The change in the humidity and temperature was causing all the problems of printing, the smudges, the wastages. Now, Willis Haviland was faced with a massive problem. How do you handle Mother Nature? You can't play around with her. 3 days, sleepless nights he spent. On the third night, he was walking down the street, unable to sleep because he had to find the answer to this problem. He was approaching Pittsburgh railway station. In the distance, he saw an engine standing. An engine which was enveloped in a fog. Automatically, his speed became slow. Something was trying to come out. Some inspiration was trying to come from his subconscious to the level of the conscious. Something was telling him that he is on the verge of finding out the solution for it. He kept moving towards the engine. He moved into the fog. It suddenly struck him like a lightning. He came back. Went straight to the factory and started working on it. What was the idea he got? That if water is sent, if air is passed through water and fog can be created, then he will be able to dry the air and he will be able to control the temperature. My dear friends, air conditioning was born. 1902, he installed the first air conditioning in Sackett and Williams. The world was to see a totally different way of living. You can see the engine and the fog, and the reason why Willis Haviland could understand everything about air conditioning. This was the first air conditioner which he installed there. In 1925, the first commercial air conditioner was installed in Rivoli Theater in New York. You can see here the Rivoli Theater on Broad Street, which was advertising it. And in 1931, engineers H.S. Schultz and Sherman, they developed the first window air conditioner for domestic purpose. It was priced at $10,000 to $50,000 per unit. And by 1953, it had become a household item. In that year alone in America, 1 million air conditioners were sold. A market creating innovation. There was no market before this, but just imagine one idea in Pittsburgh railway station in the night of 1901, and a huge market had been created. And then innovation after innovation, sustaining innovation, efficiency innovation after innovation. You see so many different types of air conditioners today. It is a 102.2 billion market in 2018. In 2020, it is a 124 billion market. Are you aware that of over 260 countries in the World Bank list, more than 200 countries are behind this as their GDP? That is the level for which this market creating innovation has been useful. Can any one of us think of living without an air conditioner? Can any office, commercial establishment think of running the show without an air conditioner? Can any house think of not having a refrigerator to store its food? Today, life means air conditioning. That is the power of air conditioning. Industrial to commercial to domestic. That brings us to the question: is innovation a matter of inspiration and a flash of creativity? Or can a person by design be innovative, build a business career and life? Do we have to depend upon inspiration and a flash of creativity to be able to innovate? Or can we by design be innovative and build a business career and life? To understand this, we need to understand what happened in World War II. In World War II, Air Force was the main power which helped the Allied forces win the war. But all along, the situation was not like that. The Axis forces were hammering the Allied forces. They were shooting down the planes like the way we kill mosquitoes. And the Allied forces were worried, because if this continued for a couple of more months, the entire Allied forces, Air Force, will be wiped out, and Hitler would have marched across the world. The Allied forces created SRG. What is SRG? The Special Research Group, comprising of 5 of the topmost brains in the world. Leonard Jimmy, the person who gave the decision theory to the world. Then you have, Frederick Mosler, the man who started the statistical department in the Harvard University. He was the father of statistics. And then you have Norbert Wiener, the person credited with bringing cybernetics into this world. How much more intelligent can people be? How much more intelligent can a group be? It doesn't stop here. The 4th person was Milton Friedman, a Nobel laureate. And the 5th, Abraham Wald, an unassuming person, but by far the most intelligent and brilliant mathematicians of that time. These people were given the task of finding out how to save the Air Force or the Allied forces. In fact, it would not be an exaggeration if we were to say Abraham Wald single-handedly, without stepping into the war field, won the war for the Allies in the World War #2. Let's see how he did that. The problem in front of the Allied forces was, how do we save our planes? The planes which are going into the enemy territory are being shot down mercilessly. And a few planes were coming back. Now you see, they started researching those few planes to find out how it is that they can be strengthened so that the planes are not shot down. This is what the planes looked like when they came back. Most of the places were shot. So the question was, where do we strengthen these planes? Where do we armor these planes so that the bullets cannot harm them? They had two problems in front of them. Number one, if you armor the plane in the places where it is being shot all over, that is all over, then what will happen is the plane will become too heavy and it will not take off. The second problem is, if you are not very careful in armoring it, the purpose will not be served. And if you armor too much, the planes might even become slow and become sitting ducks. This problem they had to solve. They could not find a way out. Abraham Wald decided that he needed inspiration. He needed motivation to put his mind to greater work. So what he did, he walked over to the nearby military hospital. And there he started looking at the soldiers, because he thought that if I see the suffering there, then I will get the motivation by which I will be able to draw into my resources and come up with an idea. He went and started seeing them. He saw people who were shot in their legs, shot in the arm, shot in the stomach, shot in the chest, shot all over the place. They were shot. The only place which was left where they were not shot is on the forehead. Every other place they had been shot. Bullets had grazed their head. As he was standing, suddenly a thought struck him. He called the doctor. He said, "What is all this?" They said that all these people, they have been shot. He said, "Only these people have been shot?" The doctor said, no. There must have been others also who are shot, who are dead, so they have not come back. He rushed back. He called the group. He called all the military officers, generals, and brought them to the hospital and said, "You watch these people closely." They looked at them very closely, but still they could not understand anything. Then he told them, "Sir, the solution to our problems lies here. You can see all these people, they are shot all over the body and they're everywhere, but they are all here. They are not dead. Similarly, the planes which have come back have been shot all over the place, but where they have not been shot is the place where the planes which have gone down have been shot. They found that one portion of the engine area was the place where these planes were not shot. That is the place they armored." Please mute. That is the place they armored, and the outcome was planes stopped getting shot down. And friends, at the end of the day, when the Allied forces won the World War II, it was found that the difference between them was 5%. 5% of the Allied forces planes were shot less, went down less. That is the power of design thinking of Abraham Wald. Design thinking refers to the cognitive, strategic, and practical processes by which design concepts are developed for the innovation of products and services within businesses and social contexts. I don't know how many of you understood this particular paragraph. When I read, I could not understand it. So, to understand design thinking and its relationship to creativity and innovation, I started thinking in a design thinking manner. I thought, let me understand it in a design thinking manner so that I will understand what is the relationship between creativity, innovation, and design thinking. Let's see. We all know this is a pot. It doesn't need a genius to understand that this is a pot. Now, what do we see here? Clay and a potter. This clay, when shaped by the potter, becomes a pot. The clay is a substantial cause. It is that clay which is getting converted into a pot. And the expertise of the potter is what is called complementary cause. Because it is this complementary cause which will convert the clay into the pot. And the substantial cause, when worked upon by the complementary cause, becomes the effect, that is the clay. Creativity is the substantial cause. It is the clay. If you are creative, the substantial cause has been found. Design thinking is the complementary cause. When design thinking is applied to creativity, the effect is innovation. Design thinking is not about thinking. Design thinking is about doing. The word is design thinking, but it is all about doing in a particular way. You need to be creative. That creativity has to be channeled through a particular process. The outcome will be innovation. You must be thinking, is it possible for you to learn creativity, innovation, and design thinking? Now look at this person. Can any one of you recognize him? Please unmute and tell me. I'm 100% sure there's not a single person in this program today who doesn't know him, who hasn't seen him. Yes. Please tell me, who is he?
Senior Bush.
Huh?
Bush.
Bush.
Senior Bush.
Okay. Anybody else? Look carefully. He is a very, very, very known figure.
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Okay. Anybody else? Why is it that we are always revolving around, Americans? Okay. Anybody else? Come on, friends. Take a guess. After all, it's only a guesswork.
Prince Charles.
Huh?
Prince Charles.
Okay, Prince Charles.
Prince
You
William.
want me to show you how you have seen him?
Christopher Reeve.
Absolutely right. Christopher Reeve, the Superman. I'm sure there is no one here who doesn't know him. This is Christopher Reeve, the Superman. Are you aware that Christopher Reeve was also a very good horseman? One day when he was riding his horse and practicing, he fell and broke 2 vertebrae and was totally paralyzed neck down. Doctors said nothing can be done with him. Here you see how Christopher Reeve took control of his life after a horseback riding accident left him paralyzed. But Christopher Reeve was made of tougher things. He said, nothing doing. I am not going to let this paralysis stop me from enjoying and living my life. He spent everything he had in trying to recover. And recover he did. He recovered so much that he could reach about near normal lifestyle. He started Christopher Reeve's Paralysis Foundation to tell the world that paralysis is not the end of life for everyone. Here is a newspaper report which says paralyzed Superman star told news of plans to launch new film carrier. He even planned to launch new film carrier. At a time when the world believed nothing can be done if there is a neurological damage, there was a budding interest in what is known as neuroplasticity. People had just then started research looking into the possibilities that nerves also could regenerate and people could become okay. Christopher Reeve showed the world practically that it can be done. His impact was so strong that Barack Obama even brought in a legislation on paralysis, the only legislation of that type and the first of that type in the Congress, and signed it so that paralysis will not be a taboo and a problem for any American henceforth. See the video.
It also makes progress. The legislation
Please wait.
The legislation I'm signing today also makes progress on another front for which many Americans have long waited. The Christopher and Dana Reeves Paralysis Act is the first piece of comprehensive legislation specifically aimed at addressing the challenges faced by Americans living with paralysis.
So, my dear friends, reclaiming your creative abilities, understanding design thinking and how to use it on your creative abilities, and innovating in every aspect of your life is definitely possible for every person who is on this earth, and that is what is going to take you forward in this post-COVID era. We are standing at that point in history where we cannot go back because the past never existed and the future is full of challenges which can be addressed only with creativity, design thinking, and innovation. Do you really want to build your life? Is your family and personal growth your priority? If your answer is yes, then join this masterclass. Creativity and innovation, a masterclass, practical use cases and application areas to deliver breakthrough results. Now, what is the content of this masterclass? What do I mean when I say you will learn about creativity? The class will start, the creativity class of 4 days will be creativity class, 4 days will be innovation class, and 4 days will be design thinking for 3 consecutive weeks. Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday for 2.5 hours each. The creativity class will begin with understanding your creativity profile. How creative you are at this given moment. Are you 5% creative, 10% creative, 50 or 90? It will start with that. It will move on to help you understand where, how, and why your creative drive and ability got suppressed. Because you were also a genius in creativity when you were born. As a child, you were also very creative. That's why you could grow and learn so many things. The third thing is step by step, you will be given a roadmap of how to reclaim your creative power. First, we will find out what your creativity profile currently is. Second, we will understand how and where it got suppressed. Third, we will give you a roadmap of how to reclaim it. The fourth, you will understand 1 full day. The second day will be on the frames and biases which control you. You will understand, learn the strategies to identify and overcome them. Then you will be taught the 7 creative brain sets and how to develop and balance them. We saw those 7 creative brain sets, starting with absorb, envision, connect, transform, flow, reason, and evaluate. All these, how to develop those brain sets and how to balance them, you will learn. You will learn the creative process, and finally, you will understand how to integrate and initiate the creative process in your life. All these things will be done in those 4 days. Innovation. You will understand innovation beyond the definition. People talk of innovation in definitive terms. No, you will understand it in practical terms. Why innovation is necessary, what aspect of life innovation can be used. In fact, let me tell you, there is no aspect of life which does not require innovation. No aspect of life. Every aspect of life requires innovation. The different types of innovation, we talked about sustaining innovation, efficiency innovation. We talked about, market creating innovation. You will understand where, how, and when to utilize it. where to focus your efforts. You just cannot say one day, get up in the morning and say, I'm going to be innovative today. I'm going to innovate. Where are you going to innovate? Where are you going to focus your innovation in your life so that you will get the bang for the buck? Adoption strategies. How will you adopt innovation into your life and integrate it? What is the innovation model? What are the various steps? And finally, how to apply innovation in practice? How do you really use it? All these will be taught to you in those 4 days. All these will be, we will see what is going to be the methodology. Then we come to design thinking. You will understand design thinking again beyond definition. What is a design thinking mindset? How do you develop it? What is design thinking action plan? How does it look? How does design thinking action plan look? How do you integrate this mindset with the action plan? In what places do what go in? How the brain behaves in functions, you have to understand it. Adaptive opportunism and design thinking. What is meant by adaptive opportunism and how is it relevant to design thinking? What is ethnography in design thinking? Visualization and implementation strategies. How do you visualize and implement those visualizations in design thinking? The elements of a design brief. What is a design brief? How do you structure a design brief so that you will know what is to be achieved? And the first step of the process called the discovery phase. Now, this discovery phase is a very important phase. So I would like to explain the contents of this discovery phase separately. Let's see. What are the contents? How is questioning the driver in design thinking? How do you master the art of questioning to drive design thinking? What is a persona? How do you build a persona? What are the importance of persona? What is the benefit of a persona? We will see through creating personas together. An empathy map. How do you create an empathy map? What is a customer journey map? How do you create a customer experience pyramid and go step by step up? What is a context map? How do you create it? And what is an opportunity map? How do you work through all these to achieve the objectives of the discovery phase? Then you come to the second phase, the define phase, the ideation and concept building. How do you create ideas and how do you build concepts with that idea? Methodology, pitfall, structure, and implementation for successful ideation. Friends, believe me, a more granular, a more focused design thinking program will not be available to you. Each and every aspect of design thinking has been put under a microscope and it has been created for you so that at the end of the program, you will be a design thinker. Stimulus and assumptions in call to action. What are the stimuluses? What are the assumptions in a call to action? How to roll out the ideation process so that it does not derail. Concept development, design criteria, and the napkin pitch. How do you develop a concept? How do you design a criteria and a napkin pitch? The third phase comes to create hypothesis testing and prototyping. Once the concept has been developed, how do you test the hypothesis? How do you rapidly do a prototyping? The important aspects of prototypes. Storytelling for prototype testing. How do you create storytelling structures to test whether your prototype will work or not? And the fourth phase, evaluate. This is the final phase, evaluate. And then we come to customer co-creation. How you embrace the customer after evaluation, co-create the product with him so that more or less the product, the idea, the innovation is created by your customer for you. And what is the methodology in which we are going to learn this? First thing we will do is we will audit and find out what your current design thinking status is. How ready you are for design thinking. Because going and talking to a group of people without even understanding how well tuned they are to developing their design thinking process is of no use. So first we will find out how evolved you are, how ready you are for the design thinking process. Then we will take a case study approach for internalizing through elaborate explanation, examples, and exercises. You will be explained the fundamentals of the various aspects. Then we will show you examples of various, instances when this has been done. And then we will help you, give you exercises by which you will get hands-on experience of doing it. There will be quiz to facilitate understanding, and you will co-create with your participants. And 3 months, I will handhold you after the class so that you will be able to internalize design thinking and attain subject matter expertise. You will be able to the same thing for innovation, same thing for creativity. After the 12-day session, I will be hand-holding you for 3 months, one-on-one, so that you will be able to internalize the whole process. Benefits: you will learn to balance and cogently develop a holistic creative mindset. You will be able to, implement and adopt your mindset to your family, society, profession, business. How to reframe current limiting beliefs and attitudes and create a liberating value system. Your limiting beliefs and value system will help you to liberate yourself from the bonds that you are tied by. Learn to meet challenges creatively and enhance the quality of your life. Challenges are there at every step, more so in the post-COVID era. You will have to be prepared to face them. They are not going to stop. They are going to come. But every challenge is an opportunity for you to develop yourself and further your social standing, your family status, your earning, and your professional position. You will understand in practical everyday life what is innovation and why it is necessary. At every point in your everyday life, you will know how to put in innovation and come out successful. Innovation at the 4 levels of individual, team, leadership, and organization. How to put it, how to trigger it and initiate innovation, you will learn. You will learn to internalize design thinking process and create it as a default behavior. Default because you will know at every step what is to be done under the situation in a step-by-step manner so that you will be able to achieve the objectives which will be beneficial to you and to the society at large. Develop a structured approach to life and its challenges. In short, friends, you will enjoy your life. You will learn how to create products, services, and experiences that delight your customers. The creativity program is for 4 days, 19th February to 22nd February, evening 7 to 9:30. The time might extend. I'm not telling that we will be able to close at 9:30 because it will all depend upon how well you grasp. If necessary, we will have to extend the time. The innovation classes will be from 4 days, 26th February to 1st March, evening 7 p.m. to 9:30. And the design thinking will be from 5th to 8th March. Incidentally, each of them is a standalone module also. The same or very similar program is being given by some leading university. I don't want to tell the name. I don't want to take the name for very, particular reason. It is there somewhere in this page. That name is there. And they are charging $3,500 for 12 weeks. Each week learning is for 5 hours, 3 to 5 hours. But here, all you have to do is register today with just 500 rupees. And if you want only one of the modules, either innovation or creativity or design thinking, the price for you is 5,000 rupees. Only one. You pay 500 now, and then you take one of these. If you feel that I am okay with innovation, I am okay with design thinking, I am okay only with creativity, the charge is 5,000. But if you want 2 of the 3, then you get a 10% discount and you pay 9,000 and you can learn 2 of the 3. You can either have creativity and innovation, or creativity and design thinking, or innovation and design thinking, whichever way you want. And if you want all the 3, you get a 26.66% discount and you can pay 11,000 rupees and you can join. But today you need to register with just 500 rupees. The balance you can pay on 16th of February. What will you get for this? 3 months free consultation from me. 3 months of handholding on innovation, creativity, and design thinking. For 3 months are available to you. You can contact me and learn. Monthly get-togethers will be there where you will be meeting all like-minded people with whom you can exchange your thoughts and ideas. And I will be taking classes, extended classes on these very subjects, various other aspects. I will be providing you with a checklist. You know, I have got 43 years of corporate experience and I used to be known as a checklist manager because I believe in operating with a checklist so that I don't miss out on anything. I will be giving you a thorough checklist on creativity, innovation, and design thinking, which will help you to move forward by ensuring that you don't miss out on any point. The entire video recording of the courses that you join will be available to you to go through again. You will not only have the video recording so that you can revise what you have learned, you'll have a checklist through which you can operate. You will have me hand-holding you for the next 3 months, and you'll have the monthly get-togethers. You will also have a certificate which will ensure that if you are employed, if you go for an interview, when you show this certificate, automatically the entire interview panel will move towards questioning you on creativity, innovation, and design thinking, and you will come up thumbs. You will easily blow them apart with the detailed knowledge which is going to be imparted to you, and you will be successful in your interview. And if you are not a professional but a business person, you will have it on your mantelpiece, which will remind you every day that you should lead your life and build your business through this creative, innovative, design thinking mindset. And finally, gentlemen, you will be networking with like-minded people. And networking is all about developing yourself. For people from Dubai, this 11,000 rupees translates into 560 UAE dirhams. For those who want to join from Singapore, it translates to 210 Singapore dollars. For those from Sri Lanka, it translates to 29,000 Sri Lankan rupee. For those who are joining from Kenya, it is 16,750 Kenyan shillings. For those from Bangladesh, it is 12,775 Bangladeshi taka. For those from Dubai, it is 3,250 kwacha. And from USA, it is 155 US dollars as compared to $3,500, which you had recently seen. And all that you will need to do is register today by paying an equivalent of 500 rupees in your currency. Grab this opportunity to become a creative, an innovator, and a design thinker, which will help you develop the correct stance in the context of the pandemic, by giving you the tools to help you on the way to designing an enviable life experience going forward. Today is the day when you grab this opportunity to develop the correct stance by acquiring the tools and designing an enviable life experience. Click, my dear friends, on the PayU and PayPal link, which is going to be posted in the chat box. Mr. Durga Prasad, Mr. Mohan.
The link has been posted.
All Indians can click the PayU link and register with 500 rupees. And all foreign participants can click the link and pay equivalent amount in the currencies which are allowed in the PayPal link, equivalent to 500, and the balance can be paid on 16th of February. If you want to contact me, you know where to contact me. I am available on WhatsApp. thank you for your patience and open for questions now. Yes, friends. Any questions?
A link can be given in the WhatsApp group, sir.
Link, yes, we will give the link also in the WhatsApp group. Who is it?
Harihara Mahadevan.
Yes, we will give the link on the WhatsApp group also. And we have got your numbers, WhatsApp numbers, and we will send it to you personally, individually also. Any questions, please?
Sir, can I get this video copy, sir? This lecture copy.
Who is speaking?
My name is Manotosh Hawladar. I want to give it to my son, send it to him. He's a design thinking trainer, come author, becoming author. But you see, he can learn from you a lot. I'm very impressed.
And thank you. I very thank you that you are very impressed. But this video will not help you to learn anything other than maybe how to make a video, how to make a presentation. The real learning will come in those 12 days of program. Tell your son to join the program.
Yeah. Actually,
he will
sir,
be immensely benefited. Please understand one thing.
I believe it. He's already in design thinking training also. He's giving training and also writing a book. But still, he can learn a lot from you.
Yes, he can. And we will definitely help him become a very successful author and a very successful trainer. You see, going forward in the new normal, it is all about relearning.
Yes, very
what
much.
What we have learned till today is breaking down.
Okay. So,
COVID is redefining the landscape.
So when is your next seminar, similar seminar?
My next webinar will be on 6th and 7th.
Okay, sir. I'll send the link to him and he'll listen.
Yes, Mr. Hawaldar. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm very happy you like it. I hope you will join the program. You see, I'm not charging you a king's ransom. It is only 11,000 rupees.
No, okay, I'm thinking for him.
Think for yourself also. It's good that you are thinking for your child. Okay, but the father has to lead the way.
Sir, actually, I also attended a lot many programs and I'm very old now.
Old physically, mentally?
Thank you.
You are a Bengali?
Yes, sir.
কি বলছেন মশাই? বয়স হয় নাকি মানুষের?
হ্যাঁ হয়। আচ্ছা, আপনি কলকাতার নাকি?
আমি সব জায়গায় নেই।
বাহ, মাল্টিলিঙ্গুয়াল। আমার ছেলে মাল্টিলিঙ্গুয়াল।
Sir, is there any qualification to join that your session, sir?
Yes, the qualification, you have to pay 500 rupees and register.
Okay.
Strong desire.
Thank you, sir.
You see, convert your desire into reality, and this reality will manifest your ambitions.
Sir, if your link is shared in the WhatsApp, it will be better, sir, for payment.
Who is it?
Narendra.
We will, see, the link will be shared in the WhatsApp, Baba. We will share it.
Okay, sir.
We will share it in the WhatsApp. Don't worry about it. Both the PayPal and the PayU link will be shared in the WhatsApp.
So that we can pay, yeah.
Now is the time to ask any questions if you have. See, those of you who want to register can register. Others can register when we post it in the WhatsApp or send the link to you. But now you can ask whatever question or doubts you have. Come on.
So this is Balachandar. This is Balachandar.
Yes, Mr. Balachandar, tell me.
Yeah, what sort of changes you have seen in the people when you have graduated for this course?
The changes is they will start looking at life and challenges in an entirely different way. You'll start looking at your challenges in an entirely different way. You see, ultimately, Mr. Balachandar, life is all about taking decisions, isn't it?
Yeah, very much.
Can I request everyone to mute, please? There is too much of noise coming. Yes. Life is everything about taking decisions, right?
Yeah, you are right. The right decisions at the right time.
Okay, what is a right decision?
Whatever
people always talk about right decisions. How do you take a right decision?
Whatever the result, no, Based on the result, the decision is qualified.
You see, let me tell you, a right decision, the chances of taking a right decision increases with the number of options available to decide from. If you have only one option, what decision will you take? You have to take that decision only.
It's an option choice.
Yes, it is an option choice. And a course in creativity, innovation, and design thinking will make you capable of generating multiple options. When you are capable of generating multiple options, automatically the possibilities of taking the right decisions increase.
Yes, you are right.
Design thinking, creativity will help you see a problem or a situation not only from your point of view, but from various directions. Today you are linear.
Yeah.
But when you learn design thinking, you will understand that there is nothing called linear. And then you will be able to start looking at things from various angles. And that will help you to automatically ensure that you will become an expert in taking decisions. Once you take a decision, now comes the time for implementation, isn't it?
Yes.
For implementation, you have to have an in-depth understanding of the process of implementation. How to go about collecting data, how to disseminate that data, how to arrange it in a manner which will give you the highest bang for the buck.
Okay.
How to time your action, where to focus, when to focus. All these things you will learn, because that, see, the mind, an ordinary person, an average person doesn't even use 3% of his mind. If you can, by learning design thinking, creativity, and innovation, increase it by even 10%, can you imagine what you will be able to achieve? Huh? Sit down, close your eyes and think.
Yes.
For 11,000 rupees, if you are able to increase your mind's capability to think by even 11%, what will happen?
Yes, sir, you are right. Because I read in the books that only the genius have used only 5% of their capability.
And you will be using from 3.25.
Even less than that, I don't know.
You will start understanding things which even ordinary people will not understand.
I agree, sir. Yes.
That is all. You see, I'll tell you one thing. The problem is, you know what? The problem is we don't understand that unless you sow a seed, a plant will not come.
Yes.
A farmer first plows the field, sows the grain, then only he harvests.
Yes.
We complain we don't have a harvest, but do we plant a seed?
That is more important. Starting point.
Yes. Planting the seed is registering and coming into the program. Then if you don't get benefit, catch me by my collar.
No. The 1 hour session, I have attended a lot of programs. I think really this is my 45 years. It's a very good program. For the time, I could see your, what I can say, I don't have words to say this, but I could see all the thing in you now.
Thank you, sir. And all these things you can get. Because what I am is what you are.
Yes, you said so.
We all start off with just a preloaded software called genetic memory.
Yes, sir.
Everything else we collect in this world at the rate of 11 million bits of information per second from the moment we are born. How we handle that information with respect to the preloaded software is what our life is. And that is what you are going to learn in these 12 days.
Understood, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Balachandar.
We don't have any doubts.
We will meet again in the course.
Yes, sir. Yes. Very much.
Come, we will do it. You see, this COVID, what can it do to us? It can do nothing. We are going to ensure that we are overcoming it, and we are going to go into the new normal with our head held high and very strong on confidence. Fully equipped with the tools to handle it.
Marvelous.
Yes, Mr. Gopalakrishnan.
Thank you.
Sir, good evening. This is a
evening.
very informative and a very illustrative presentation. Thanks a lot to you. In fact, I am retired general manager of Steel Authority India Limited.
Yes,
I am
sir.
an in-house faculty dealing with creativity innovation also.
Yes.
And really, it was very useful to me. I would like to join the course also.
Please come.
And just an extension of information what Mr. Balachandra just has asked. Whenever we conduct HR interventions, we talk about the effectiveness, or how do we calculate the effective. What you are told is definitely there is an abstract improvement that I can also explain and vouch for. But how do you evaluate in some sort of documented or physical, because this we try to do in any HR intervention when we engage specialist also.
Mr. Gopalakrishnan, is it?
Gopi Krishnan, sir.
Gopi Krishnan. Mr. Gopi Krishnan, I have recently conducted a program called Employee Engagement.
Okay.
It was a 4-day program.
Okay.
I have a tool called the Workplace Attitude Index tool.
Beautiful.
It will tell you individually and department-wise what is the attitude,
okay,
what steps need to be taken
okay,
to address it,
okay,
where is the gap between experience and expectation.
fantastic.
It is a big challenge for every HR specialist.
True, sir.
To be able to map the difference between the experience and expectation. That is their problem.
You are absolutely correct.
And you see, people tell so many thousand things without getting to the crux of it. An employee comes with a certain expectation.
You are right.
Your workplace is creating an experience.
Okay.
If it is aligned, he is engaged. If it is not aligned, he is disengaged.
Beautifully.
People
told.
confuse between motivation and engagement.
Okay.
Motivation is directed towards the individual.
Okay.
Engagement is a commitment towards the organization.
Fantastic.
I always give an example. You know, you are going in a ship alone.
Okay.
The ship catches fire in the middle of the ocean.
Okay.
There is only one lifeboat. What will you do? You will kill, beg, borrow, steal, try to get into the lifeboat and escape, right?
Yes.
That is motivation.
Fantastic.
Supposing you are traveling with your family, will you leave them and get into the lifeboat?
Definitely no.
That is engagement.
Okay. Very, very nicely told. Thank you very much, sir.
And you see, this Workplace Attitude Index tool will help the HR community to identify what is the gap. And then there are a series of things which require to be done.
Interventions we take.
Interventions you can do so that
it is always better to be cultured as a learning organization. As you are rightly enunciated, it is a relearning and unlearning.
That's all.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Gopi Krishnan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So you are joining the program?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right now,
good.
Yeah, fine.
Come, you see, I'll tell you, you are a faculty. You are also dealing with creativity and innovation. I think it will be tremendously helpful. You can take this message to your students and help them immensely.
Definitely, sir.
Please.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Anyone else? Oh. Are we going to have any questions? Or can we close the day? You have to answer me. Mr. Syed Jafar, you can have the outline of the program. This program will be repeated on 7th of February again. Please do join in time so that you will be able to enjoy the full program. Friends, we are available on WhatsApp. I'm sure you have all posted your WhatsApp number when you came in. If any one of you have missed out and given any other number other than the WhatsApp number, I will request you to put it in the chat box so that we can reach out to you. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Don't lose it. You know, as in Julius Caesar, they say, there comes a time in the affairs of men which, when taken by the storm, leads on to fortune. This is one of those times. You want to lead on to fortune, capitalize on it. When opportunity knocks, open the door.
Mr. Arun.
Yes.
Mr. Syed Jafar is asking when the program will commence.
7th of February. Mr. Syed Jafar, are you in our group? Has he replied, Mr. Mohan?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, he is not in the group. Yes.
Can you give your WhatsApp number? I will add it and I will send you the invite for the 7th of February program.
Yeah.
Is it in the chat?
He is in the chat. He has responded with his mobile number as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jafar. You will get the invite. Yet to get the payment link in the WhatsApp group. Mr. Mohan, can you put both the payment link in the WhatsApp groups?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, who is it?
Me, Nazmul Alam from Bangladesh.
Yes, Mr. Nazmul. You are a Bengali?
I want to ask a question.
Bolun. Jigis korun, ki jigis korte chan?
I'm a founder of a social organization named Zero Foundation, which is working all over our country, Bangladesh.
Excellent.
And this our motto is "Let's work together."
Excellent.
And I believe by togetherness we can make a great family all over the world, actually. And
absolutely, you are right.
That's why the fact is we need some leaders, some true leaders, and by how we can make our popular great leadership. Exactly, can you give some special tips to ourselves?
Yesterday, I had a program on leadership frames. The same program will be given again on 6th of February. The second day of the creativity program, which is going to be conducted in this program, I told you now this 12-day program contains 4 days of creativity, 4 days of innovation, 4 days of design thinking. The second day is totally devoted to frames and biases. And frames and biases are very, very important to understand for leadership.
And can I get your contact number, any WhatsApp or anything?
My WhatsApp number is 93840. You can note down. Okay. Have you given your WhatsApp number in the chat box?
Yeah, I'm giving it just till.
Please give the WhatsApp number in the chat box.
Yes.
My number is 93840. That is plus 91 you have to add for India.
93840. Wait, 93840.
Yes, 97866.
97866. Any other code before plus?
Plus 91. Plus 91 you'll have to put in front of it.
Plus, just plus.
Just plus 91 93840 97866.
That means total number is plus 919384097866.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks. And all this is a session was actually so fantastic and effective for all of us, and great gratefulness from Zero Foundation to you, and hope you will come. I from my heart, I'm inviting you to come here and a great session for all of us, our leaders of Bangladesh Zero Foundation.
Definitely. What I suggest is you first attend this program and see how much you are benefited. Then you can take this news to your people, and then we both together can collaborate and give it to everybody in Bangladesh.
Yes.
I don't have any problem.
Yes.
But first you come and join, because you see, without tasting the food, how will you be convinced that it is tasty?
Right, absolutely right. And that's why I'm attending here.
Yes, proof of the pudding is in the eating.
When I get any opportunity to take a session to learn some things and any kind of training in the world, I just tried my level best to attend all of the training actually.
Come. Yeah, we will do it. Don't worry. We will collaborate with you. Top League Training and Business Consulting will collaborate with the Zero Foundation and take excellent programs to Bangladesh. We will ensure that your business leaders are immensely benefited through you. That's an assurance I'm giving you. Yes, anybody else? Mr. Nayan had raised his hand. Yes, Mr. Nayan. Mr. Nayan? Anybody else, Mr. Mohan?
No. No, Mr.
Have you put the link in Participates 1, 2, and Creativity and Innovation group?
I'm putting that in Creativity and Innovation right now. Done.
And then Participates 1, Participates 2 also you put it?
Yeah.
All those who have not yet put their WhatsApp number can put it. If you are not in a group, in our group, you can put it. If you are in our group, then you can just send a hi to me. I will know. Okay? Gentlemen, good night. It was very nice talking to you all. The next program, Leadership Masterclass, will be on 6th of February. And the next introductory webinar will be on 7th of February. I will be sending all of you an invite. Kindly pass it on to your friends so that you will be able to help them learn creativity, innovation, and design thinking. You'll be doing a big service to society by doing that.
Thank you, Mr. Arun. You will do it.
Yes, thank you, sir. Best of luck.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good day. Thank you.
Good day to you. Mr. Mohan, I am checking out. Huh?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Mohan, when this program will start actually?
This is on
7th of February.
7th of February.
7th, because introductory seminar also, sir was telling on 7th.
6th and 7th.
We'll confirm the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, that's why I got confused, you know. Earlier in the poster it said 6th, it will start.
No, we'll confirm.
Yeah, when it will start.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye.
I'll also log off. Bye.
Pambiano. Pambiano pa. Dadak ka nilong yan, di mo pa. Dadak ko mobile bet natin. Ma. Dapat mo ba yan? Dan dia yang berjoget. Saya ini mau
Okay.
Some 1 minute.